This is a call-out, but for real this time. I tried to be nice about this before in a different video titled The Empathy Trap that I have since taken down, but the situation turned to shit seemingly right after I tried that. Some people insist on being terrible fucking people. I feel the need to explicitly state that I'm doing this in support of people like Angie Speaks and Coffin, whom I have witnessed being harassed and threatened, as well as numerous other people who have been caught up in the wake of this entire unsavory situation. I also feel the need to state that speaking out in these people's defense does not mean that I am speaking out in the defense of Lorelei Bailey or Natalie Durkin, or indeed that I am speaking out against either person. This situation now has become bigger than that. And that's the problem. So I'm just going to come out and say that this all reminds me of Gamergate. Not just Gamergate back when it solidified into a solid movement. I mean back when it was just starting. And I mean that in a very specific way. I was on The Escapist back when what would become Gamergate was just starting up, and it was the only place they could talk. I saw it firsthand. People knew literally from the very beginning what Gamergate was trying to do. That is, remove certain people from the industry due to worldviews that they didn't agree with, and were shouted down. People made radical claims against specific people. When other people questioned those claims, including myself, or asked for clarification, including myself, they were accused of collaborating or supporting those specific people. People were harangued and harassed until they left the website. Other people left the website because they were concerned that they might be subject to abuse themselves. Like me. And that place almost died. There's something more specific, though, and it's a little bit more difficult to explain. Early on, and indeed to this day, the claim was made that Gamergate is about ethics in game journalism. Today we know that that claim was bullshit, but early on a lot of people took that seriously, including myself. I've talked to some people who are participating in these allegations, and there's a specific believable claim being made. They want to make the community safer for victims of abuse. And I believe that what these people, whom I've spoken to, want. But the actions that are being undertaken by these people do not make communities safe, especially for victims of abuse. How does harassing Peter Coffin or Chrisiosity until they leave a community make that community safer for abuse victims? How does doxing Angie Speaks and hacking her Twitter and PayPal accounts make communities more safe for victims of abuse? I can't see how that works. What I can see, and what I have observed before, is that it makes communities more insular and less safe for abuse victims in that community. And it might seem unfair for me to blame what I am lightly describing as a community for this. But on the other hand, I would also like to remind people that the Gamergate community not being held to account for their shitty people ultimately led to those shitty people taking the wheel. And we all understand where that leads to, don't we? Is that where you want whatever you're doing to go? If not, then you need to get your fucking act together. And if you believe that anything I've said warrants attack on me, then come at me. #CancelRon. You will find my personality is well suited to misery.